I'm going to be talking about my fall reading list. I really like seasonal reading. I talked about this last year when it's crazy that I'm already like, it's been so long, I'm so inconsistent that I made so few videos since then. But yeah, I talked about this in my last year's fall recommendations video, but I like to stick to kind of mood seasonal reading because it allows you to experience it a lot deeper and different aspects of the season. I just think that's really awesome, especially living in a place that does have 4 seasons. I kind of always took that for granted growing up. But a lot of places in the world don't actually have 4 seasons, so it's pretty unique, and it's cool to kind of go along with that for what I'm reading. So without further ado, let's just show you what's on my radar for this fall. So first one, I'm slouching so much right now. That's so bad. My posture is just terrible. Okay, so first one on my pile here is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. This is just a little novella. It could be read in like a day, maybe 2. But this is basically about a governess who goes to work in this house to look after these 2 kids, and says she becomes obsessed that they're in danger and she ends up causing more harm than good. I started this last summer, and like, it's so eerie, and I had to put it down because it was creeping me out a lot, so I know it's going to be good. And yeah, I definitely want to get to this because I've had it for so long. I really want to read Henry James, I just never have, so that's on the list. Next is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak, and this is another one that has been on my list for so long. This is perfect for the fall. I don't know why historical fictions really just make me feel fallish. I don't know. And also, it's World War II, it's narrated by death, so it's got that kind of sad, eerie, dark kind of vibe to it that also kind of goes with kind of the fall season. So yeah, that's definitely on the list as well. I mean, this is supposed to be such a good book, so I'm really excited to read that. Third book we have is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, and this book is about a man who comes across this woman dressed head to toe in white, which we all know is just inherently really creepy. And she asks him for directions to London. He gives them to her, doesn't think anything of it, and then a few minutes later he is like pulled aside by a carriage, and they're looking for her. Apparently she escaped from a mental asylum, as they would have called it back then. So it says madness, abduction, false identity, and shameful family secrets. So it seems like eerie, but not like a horror, so I think that I should be able to handle it, but it is quite a big book, so I don't know if I'm gonna actually get to it or even through it, so yeah, but that's there. If that interests you, that would be a good one. So yeah, next we have The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury, which is another really little one that I could read in a day, so I kind of want to read this like right around Halloween, like maybe the 30th or the 29th or something like that. But yeah, so this is about a group of trick-or-treaters who go to this like haunted house, haunted mansion, whatever, and one of their friends gets like whisked away, or like, I don't know, I want to use the word raptured, but I know that's not the right word. It's like a very dramatic word to use. But he like, what does it say? It just says something whisks their friend away. So yeah, and then they have to go save him. And this cover is so cool. I love it so much. It's like, it looks from afar just like a skull, but then you look closely and it's all the kids in costumes, dressed up. So yeah. So yeah, this one, you know, pretty self-explanatory why I want to read it this time of year. So yeah. Next we have a nonfiction, Descartes Bones by Russell Shorto. This has been on my list for like 2 and a bit years now. I bought it 2 and a bit years ago. And it's about the philosopher René Descartes. He was from France. He died in Stockholm, it says, in 1650, and his exhumed remains, they exhumed his remains of the philosopher to transport them back to Paris, and thus began a 350-year saga that saw Descartes' bones traverse a continent, passing between kings, philosophers, poets, and painters. So basically, his bones helped influence a lot of different aspects of life, science, religion, philosophy, all sorts of stuff, and I'm really interested in finding out exactly how and exactly who this person was. And I think this is like a good nonfiction for this time of year because, you know, bones, a dead philosopher, mysteries probably, intrigue. I'm excited, and it's not too big. I have started already. I got like a decent way through. Looks like it was here that I left off, but I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want to read this. I'm super interested in it. Okay, so next we have I have a bind up of some penny dreadfuls, and penny dreadfuls are really cool. If you don't know what they are, during the Victorian times, before like TV and stuff, obviously, they would release these serialized stories in the newspaper, and they would sell them for a penny each, and they were kind of like these sensationalized tales of terror, which is what it says on the front, sensational tales of terror, and it just kind of, so they're nicknamed penny dreadfuls because they costed a penny and they were about dreadful things. So yeah, this has a bunch in it. It also has some that I'm sure are not actual penny dreadfuls, but they kind of get put into that group because they're with that Victorian Gothic horror genre. But I want to read, what's it called? Wake Not the Dead, or The Bride of the Grave by Johann Ludwig Tieck. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. I don't know why. I just think it's the title that kind of caught my eye, and it reminds me of The Corpse Bride, which is a great film, and I love that movie. So that's my logic for that. My next one that's on my radar is another one that I'm almost done. I'm not almost done. It's another one that I've started, but this one I'm actually almost finished. Darwin's Doubt by Stephen C. Meyer, The Explosive Origin of Animal Life and the Case for Intelligent Design. So if you guys all didn't know, I am in a science major and I'm taking an evolution course right now. Super interesting. This is talking about kind of the gaps in the theory of the origin of species. And it's just super interesting to see it from a different perspective, because you're always taught one thing in school, and they always simplify everything in high school. And even in first and second year of university, they always simplify everything. So this is just really cool to kind of give a different perspective, kind of point out the holes and what we still need to discover. It's very, very informative. So interesting. I underline, circle, write in the margins, look stuff up on my way through. It's honestly amazing. It's great. Oh, ow. But yeah, so I really want to finish it just so I can like have it be read. You know, it's taken me so long to read it. I just don't understand why. But yeah, so basically, there's something called the Cambrian explosion. So I'm just going to talk about this. I have to stop because I could just talk about it for a really long time. Basically, the Cambrian explosion happened about 530 million years ago, and it's where there's a huge, just like dramatic growth in the fossil record and diversity of species that are around. And there's no indication of like really where they came from. So, and there's no explanation for it yet, which is just like really cool that we're still looking for that answer. And so this guy's kind of going through other people's theories and really picking them apart and explaining how they don't work. And he wouldn't, like, the part that stuck out to me so much was like just like the math and the statistics and stuff for how really improbable it is that random mutations would. Anyways, I'm gonna make a video talking about it when I'm done, but yeah, I definitely really want to finish that. The last book that I have on my radar is The Saturday Night... Woo! Oh, good. Okay, not very much of it spilled. Okay. The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. This book is my current read. I'm really enjoying it right now. It's set in 1980s Niagara Falls, and I just love the description. They say, growing up in 1980s Niagara Falls, a seedy but magical, slightly haunted place. I just love the way all those words sound and like the feelings they evoke for me. But yeah, so basically there's this kid named Jake Baker, and he spends most of his time with his uncle Calvin, who owns like an occult store. And they basically make a pact with this kid Billy that he becomes friends with every Saturday night to like go explore haunted places. Not sure exactly what's going to happen, but it says, as summer goes on, what begins as a seemingly lighthearted project may ultimately uncover more than any of its members had imagined. So yeah, it's really cool. He's kind of telling it from memory. So he's a brain surgeon now, and he's like recalling his childhood, like that summer. The first sentence, the first chapter is like about him talking about the human brain, and it is such a cool chapter. I definitely recommend it so far. Obviously, I can't fully because I haven't finished it, but so far it's really cool. At the end of, I think it was chapter 2, the dad calls his son. He said, "Up to bed, you strange and beautiful organism." And I was like, you know what? I really like that phrase. So that's what I'm going to start saying to people. So yeah, those are all the books that are on my radar for this season that I want to read. I probably won't read all of them. Like, definitely not, because I'm in school and stuff and I'm so busy. But I definitely want to read like 3-ish of them, maybe. Maybe 4. We'll see. But by the end of November. So I have like 2.5 months-ish. So we'll see. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this helped you out. Let me know if you end up picking up or reading any of these books. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe if you would like to come back. And that seems to be all. So farewell, my strange and beautiful organisms.